Hello. Welcome to RPG Research at the new RPG Center here in Spokane, Washington, Community Center and Historical Museum. We're just kind of checking in. We're going to try to do that fairly frequently. We did our first broadcast from this new location Wednesday with the unboxing of the One Ring role-playing game 2nd edition and the Dark Tower Returns. Entire complete stuff. I'm Hawk Robinson, President and Founder.
John Wilker, Vice President and Co-Founder.
And this is our new RPG Center at 101 North Stone Street in Spokane, Washington. It's a couple of buildings. It's an entire little slice of a block here. We're going to be able to eventually store the RPG trailers and RPG vehicles and all of that we take around that are wheelchair accessible. But it is a major fixer-upper. The landlord was kind enough to give us very, very low rent as a nonprofit to try to help us do this. We are a 501c3 nonprofit. You can donate at rpgresearch.com/donate. And we run programs at all kinds of community centers all over the place and all over the country with the mobile facilities. But we now finally are going to have a dedicated space in addition to continuing those programs. But this is a major fixer-upper. If you look at the video from Wednesday and from the walkthrough from a couple of weeks ago, you will see that, I mean, I'm not kidding. We've got leaky roof damage. We've got to rip out all the sheetrock. We got a lot of work to do. But
we have to add sewer.
This place, the other building. So this building was started in 1992 and not finished. It does not have heat. It does not have air conditioning. We're going to have to put all that in. We brought in some electric baseboards to just kind of get by so we don't freeze to death. Especially the other day, it was down around 20-something degrees, and luckily these little baseboards. But these are just temporary. I mean, there's a lot we need to do. We figure it's going to take us about 3 months before it's ready to open to the community. We should be able to do our online classes and broadcasts and volunteer training soon, like probably in a week or two at this rate, if we can keep up this pace. We get the big table down here. Once the security is up, and I don't have to worry about leaving a computer here, we can have a computer here for broadcasting. Right now I'm just using my laptop as a temporary broadcast unit. This is a very, very rough neighborhood. It's off of Sprague Street in Spokane on the east side. This is a notoriously rough neighborhood. It's getting better-ish, but there are often break-ins and like they literally will cut out the chain link fence and break in and stuff like that. So we got to finish securing the space before we bring down the more valuable stuff, like the computer for broadcasting.
So if somebody has a pet dragon they can lend us?
For you are crunchy and taste good with ketchup. But we just want to give you a little status update. So it is Friday, March 11th, 2022. Before we didn't have any of the green screens up. We just had one table. Now we got a couple of tables here. I put some fabric. I mean, it's a hodgepodge. It's rough. But the nice thing about this is I can now, with these green screens, and we're going to have green screen all the way around. We'll have at least 4 cameras, 3 or 4 camera angles, at least 3 camera angles here and 1 overhead. Mm-hmm. And we'll even have green screen on the table so that we'll be able to have the maps be overlaid, etc. Let's see here. Let me go and quickly throw on a chroma filter here. I'm using OBS, open source, which is what we've been using for years and years and years, and it works great. Just takes a little while to get it all set up. So we do a little chroma green, and we need to have, that's not doing anything. Why is that not doing anything? Did I not do it on the correct? That was the wrong thing to do it to. That would do it. All right, try that again. There we go. All right, so now you can kind of see that background image. So if I turn off the camera, we've got the background image of our website for the rpgcenter.org. If I do the green screen, now you can do the weather report. Hey, here, this photo here is from the Northeast Youth Center, not far from here, over in Hilliard.
Right.
We did a program called the Fantastic Fun for All Extreme Medieval Sports. And one of the activities was the Lancelot joust and such. And these are many of my fellow classmates and such from East Washington University, and we were doing, and I was the one who, They've never done a medieval theme before. It just happened when I was there. I wonder why. So anyway, this is one of our early programs from 2007. And Hilliard is one of the poorer zip codes in the country.
Yeah.
I was shocked. One of the hungrier and poorer zip codes in the entire country. And so East Washington University and we all partnered up with Northeast Youth Center to do a program where the kids come in after school and do a full day. They get, all local companies donate pizza and all this other stuff. So they get fed, first of all, because these kids are starving. And they get to just have a fun and be kids for the day. And so we had Climb the Dragon and Joust, Lancelot Joust. And I brought in Lord Weasel from the Society for Creative Anachronism. He brought in all his armor and chainmail and let the kids try on all their armor. And it was awesome. And those kids just lit up. It was
Most
really
of those
great.
kids were just swimming in the chainmail, weren't they?
Well, and Professor Brock, Barbara Brock, who just retired, who did rec therapy, she's like 5 foot. And so Weasel brought her a full chainmail hauberk. And there's a picture of me, and I don't have it right here, but there's a picture of us and Lord Weasel's not very tall either. So they're on each side of me. And I'm actually, if you look close, you'll see I'm holding up Barb's chainmail shirt on her shoulder to take the weight off of her, because it was just, because she used to be a gymnast, right? She was just so slender. She was in her 60s, I think, at least late 50s. And the chainmail weighs like 70 pounds, weighs almost as much as her. But it was such a great thing. And it's just one of the many programs we've done throughout the community. Now we'll be able to really take it to a new level with this actual space. So see, you've got the green screen here, right? So you can see the website behind it.
Yeah.
And we can do all kinds of backdrops. And that's what we'll just have it everywhere. I'm just going to make this all green screen. We'll have 2 sets. We're going to bring up a couple of sofas. So we have a more casual, like when we're doing the talk show, we'll have a coffee table, a couple of comfy chairs. The comfy chair.
We're going to use the face rig.
Oh, yeah, we could do the face rig as the talk show.
Yeah.
That would be fun. Interview with the dragon.
Dwarf and dragon.
Instead of interview with the vampire, interview with the
interview
dragon.
with the dragon. My day and age. Crunchy.
What are you going to be if I'm the dragon?
Oh, you're going to be the dragon?
Oh, you want to be the dragon?
I figured you'd be the tree ant.
Yeah, I've done that role. I've been there. I came across the buckets I stood on for the MDA, the Muscular Dystrophy Association camp.
Yeah.
So we did the MDA summer camp as well, a couple of programs there. And one of the things we did, it was an outdoor LARP, among others. And one was an adventure LARP. And I was a treant. Now I'm 6'7" now. I used to be 6'9". I've shrunk a bit. But I had a little bit to spare. Now I don't hit all the door frames. But I got paint buckets and inverted them and put lashings on it and some 2x4s to reinforce it. So it added, 1.5 feet, 2 feet. So I was 8.5 feet tall.
Yeah.
And then a camouflage. I got just a big cloak of camouflage. And I was an ent. And the kids then sprayed the heck out of me. And after I said, okay, I'm good now, you don't have to spray me anymore, right in the face.
They still had water left.
They did, in their little water wands. That was great. It was a hot day, so I did not mind getting soaked. But yeah, that was fun being that ent. I had to be careful. It was good to have that walking stick with the
Right.
That would be interesting. Ent and dragon. That sounds catchy.
You can do that.
Yeah, there's Dwarf and Orc, the song. Remember the Dwarf and Orc song? Dwarf and Orc, a battle not worth telling. Spear or cork, with which should you be assailing? Knock that dwarf on the head with a cork and see if his axe don't sink. You don't remember that one?
I do remember.
Okay.
You've sang it before.
Yeah, well, so we do like Ent and Dragon or something like that.
Yeah.
All right, so anyway, we're just doing a quick check-in. We brought in a bunch more tables, some more chairs, the NATO wire to put on the fence, but I still need the mounts for for it to go on. And that's what all the neighbors have. All the neighbors have either razor wire, barbed wire, NATO wire around. That's the only thing that even remotely protects the properties here. It's that
Well,
rough.
that and cameras and lights.
Cameras, lights, I mean, you have to do the full, and then reinforce the security doors. So we got to do all that before we can really bring down the valuables, and this was certainly the museum, and that's all going to come later. But we hope in about 3 months, so it's March now, so April, May, maybe end of May, maybe June. I'm thinking maybe June. It depends on how it goes with code and the city approving us. But May or June, hopefully we can open the community center downstairs to the public, wheelchair accessible, with a wheelchair accessible bathroom. We're gonna have a roll-in shower in case a kid has or anybody has an accident. It happens, you know, and how embarrassing is it to have to ride home, you know, sitting all that. So we're gonna make sure that the community center has a roll, everything there is wheelchair accessible in the bathroom, and it's just one bathroom, but it's, you know, but has a roll-in shower so that if somebody has an accident, they can take care, you know, they'll be able to take care of it there and not have to sit in it and stuff, so.
And of course, this is all going to cost money.
Yeah.
Uh,
And we've only gotten this far.
Put out too much of his own money for this?
Well, and the community. Remember, a lot of this happened because of the Mind Crack fundraiser we did 2 years ago. That was a big part of the move-in. Yeah, we're going to really start. We're going to get hopefully this weekend the big table down here, and then maybe what I could do is bring one of the older computers that worked. Wasn't the greatest, but remember one of those.
Yeah.
It got us by. Maybe I bring that because if it did get stolen, it wouldn't break us. The nice one, that would ruin us.
Yeah.
That one was a very expensive
We
computer.
don't want the new one here.
But I could maybe take a chance with the lesser one and one of the less expensive big screens, one of the pawn shop ones. They're all pawn shop ones, but one of the less expensive pawn shop ones. And at least that way we could get by until all the security is in place. So anyway, we're hoping we will start broadcasting our training sessions here within a few weeks. And so that's at least 3 sessions plus Wednesday, 4 sessions. And then we get talk show going again, that's 5. We used to do 10 to 16 broadcasts a week. Did you know that?
I wasn't counting, I was just getting in there and doing them.
Yeah, we used to do 10 to 16 broadcasts a week. And then we kind of needed to hunker down and shore everything up. And we've been working on our infrastructure and training. And the second edition of the book we're working on, the workbook. But I think we can get up to 3 to 5 sessions a week, like within a week or two, I think, if all goes well. At this rate, I mean.
You think we'll be ready for Token Moot?
That's a goal. We got to have the community center ready in time, and that's in July. So if we have the community center ready in May or June, June is also RPG conference, right? The annual RPG conference that we do. That's in June. That's second, I think it's the second Saturday, it's second weekend of June. So we want to have it ready for that. We don't expect a big attendance because we're not pitching a lot, but we'll at least have it again instead of just online. And then July, the third weekend of July, of course, is Tolkien Moot. I don't know if it's going to be a 2-day event or not. I mean, we've been doing 1 day for resources. If we have enough people, we can make it. Remember, we used to do a 5-day Tolkien Moot, and then regularly did a 2.5 to 3 day. And I don't know that we're up to that just yet. We would do a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I don't know. I know Brian's not up for it. He's only up for 1 day, Saturday. So we'll have to just kind of play it by ear and see how our volunteers are feeling with all this work, whether we want to keep it another 1 day Tolkien Moot and then maybe next year grow it. But we'll have a dedicated space for it, and it's going to grow because there's this building. This one was, as I said, started in 1992. There's that building there that we can turn into a game room and research observation center, fishbowl, if you will. And then that building over there, the one from 1889, I kid you not, this little old farmhouse that's been converted. As we get that fixed up, and that one's going to take us all year to fix. It's a mess. That'll be the museum. I mean, it's apropos that the RPG Historical Museum will be in a building from 1889.
Anybody who's got map cases, display cabinets, those kind of
Yeah, we're
things.
really going to need
And
those.
I'm talking the flat ones where you leave the maps flat.
Yeah, we're going to need a lot of that. But first, we'll get the community center. So we're just checking in, kind of letting you look around. So if you're following us Wednesday and the previous broadcasts, you can see that we've been very, very busy. Okay, so now with the green screen, you just see the website behind. Let me turn the filter off there so you can actually see the green screen. There we go. All right, so we're chiseling away at it, working on it. We've got several of the security cameras up, and we're working on the other 12. And, well, I love those ceilings, though. I mean, they're going to be a problem acoustically.
Can you show them the painting?
Yeah, we've kind of shown it. It looks like it's a Rembrandt. We just don't know which one. Anybody recognize which painting? I've got a little bit of a glare from one of the lights actually on it.
Yeah.
Anybody know what scene that is? I mean, it's just a print and somebody slashed. This is from the previous tenants. But we're kind of curious. We'll have to get it down from there. So I'm thinking about we'll move these lights up to where the rafters are. right? So that the green screen's there, because then when the camera's at the right angle, you only see green screen. You don't see part of the lights. And then we can create an immersive. So if we're in the dungeon, every camera angle that we see, except for just a little ball of a camera,
Can you have different, like, that's the north wall, that's the west wall? So they're all different walls?
Yeah, you can have each camera you can do different overlays.
So it will be a VR.
Not for us.
Right, no, for the audience.
But for the audience, it will be immersive. It won't be VR, but it'll be more immersive. And again, the table, right? We've got even the floor. You'll see we got a green padded interlocking floor here. We don't have any other flooring. It's just bare wood. We need flooring.
About shoes on this thing.
Why?
Well, I mean, you have a nice green cover with a big blot of mud.
Well, yeah, okay. Well, hopefully it's going to track mud all the way up. We're on the second floor here. Hopefully it will track it. So you see out those windows, there's a stairwell there. To say the problem is, as lovely as this is, most of these windowsills are rotted at the bottom because when they put the windows in, they didn't seal them properly. They didn't put in proper weather strip and they didn't seal them. So we're going to have to pop out every window, put in new weather strip and put in fresh sealant and replace part of as I say, we got our work cut out for us. And it's going to count on the donations. We'll do what we can based on the donations. We're going to have a wish list up on the donation website of specific things like air conditioning and heat is a big one. We really, really, really going to need that. Right now we need heating, but this summer, I mean, this is going to be a greenhouse. It'll be, if it's another 90 to 100 degree summer, we will just die if we don't have air conditioning.
So people who want to send donations, cash donations go to rpgresearch.com/donate.
Everybody goes to donate, and then we'll have a page that says donate specific items. And so they'll be able to buy for us an Amazon or Home Depot wish list item of like an HVAC unit or something like that.
Right.
And or, donate money to have a contractor do a whole thing. So we'll give them package things they can just pick and donate. Apparently that's something that a lot of nonprofits do.
Okay.
And some people are more comfortable with donating specific things rather than general cash.
Well,
that they know it'll go to that.
Yeah, because if I give you cash, I can't guarantee what you spent it on.
Right. So we're going to have that list in the coming weeks up there. And then we're going to try to just fundraise like crazy. We're getting already the local community businesses are talking about like dropping off buckets of paint, although they've yet to follow through.
Right.
It's wonderful the things people offer, but what really matters is the ones who follow through.
Exactly.
That a lot of people say a lot of great things. Unfortunately, only a small percentage follow through, but hopefully we'll see that.
And we'll of course list people that have helped out on the donation page.
If they want. I mean, other people don't want to be anonymous. Some of our biggest donations, they've explicitly said keep it anonymous.
You showing off the wood?
Yeah, I love that ceiling.
It is a nice.
It is gorgeous.
The chandeliers, though, are dangerous.
That one I'm going to be raising up a little bit because I'll bonk on that. I mean, that one's fine, but that one's got to be raised up a few links. So we're working on it. We're here pretty much every day. Yesterday, John was out getting keys for everybody that needs them. But since we signed the lease a week ago yesterday, every day been out here just plugging away. You and your son were out sweeping and raking and picking up garbage, and that's how we get this done bit by bit. So if you want to volunteer, of course, we're always needing volunteers, both virtual. So we've got 200 volunteers worldwide across 6 continents. And then we've got about 30 or so here in the Spokane area, and 20 of which have been more active than others. And it's thanks to those wonderful volunteers, because we haven't had that much money. I mean, we average out about $10,000 a year, and that's it.
We went to a nonprofit conference. It wasn't a conference, it was a class or
workshops.
A workshop, that's right.
Yeah, through United Way.
Yeah, we went to a nonprofit workshop and we found out that everybody has no idea how we've gotten what we've done.
We retain
what little money we have.
Yeah, with what little money we have a far better. Well, we know why. It's my tech background. We have a far better computer system set up than some of these nonprofits raise $30 million a year. They've been around 30, 40 years.
Yeah.
And they have one computer. They have one computer, and they raise all that money, and yet their administrative costs are like 80, 90%. So they raise 20, 30, 40 million dollars, but only like 10 million actually goes straight to the community.
Right. And we work off a budget of $10,000.
We do 10,000, and like the other year, we helped 30,000 people with 10,000, right,
Yeah.
through the programs. And it's because of our volunteers. Just our amazing, amazing volunteers. We're all unpaid volunteers. Nobody makes a dime here at RPG Research.
I tried to
It's a
make a
labor
dime,
of
but I
love.
couldn't get a penny press.
And that's how we do it. Everybody just does what they can. And then we always stay within our means. So the money we have for that coming month, that determines how many programs we do that month. If we have less money, we do fewer programs. If we have fewer volunteers, we do fewer programs. We have more volunteers, we do more programs. We're always within our means. Very careful that way. But we just recently got our gold seal of transparency through, I think they were called GuideStar, but they recently changed names or something. Candid now, I think they're called. Which is, the rating system of different nonprofits. Now, the only reason we don't have the platinum is you have to have a paid audit. We can't afford.
Right.
Like, we only raise $10,000 a year. We can't afford a paid auditor to do that yet. So that's going to have to wait to get that to that next status level. But yeah. So anyway, that's where we're at. We will be popping down here. I hope tomorrow night to bring down the big table for the studio, and then maybe Wednesday do another broadcast. Because we'll probably still do, I don't know, if we get the table down here and I bring down one of the big screens and the little computer and I get all that working, how do you feel about doing your class here Monday?
I don't have a problem doing it here Monday,
Okay.
as long as we make sure we bring all the books I need.
Oh, see, that's why. That's why we're not doing the classes here yet, because we'll have to haul everything back and forth, and there's so much stuff.
Yeah.
And we don't do that until security's in place. That's why. Okay,
I'm
so
showing
just,
off the history of role-playing games from.
yeah, kind of hard to do when we don't have the archives. Okay, that's why we can't do the classes here yet. But we can do Wednesday's classes, because that's where we're doing more unboxing. We Inspire Isles just arrived. That's the role-playing game that's supposed to teach BSL, British Sign Language, and American Sign Language. Although there's some controversy about that, especially their new Kickstarter from the deaf community. We can talk about that Wednesday. But we could do Wednesday's training here, and we just got to boot back up the talk show. We could, when we get the sofas down here, we can do
Right.
the talk show right there. So that's what I'm thinking about, putting the sofas and the coffee table and have a more casual sit back and conversational style. So next broadcast will probably be Wednesday. But here's your update, such as it is, a little rambling, but we're going to keep you in the loop. And again, please, please, please consider donating. It's because of you, the wonderful community, that we've been able to help tens of thousands of people with very little money. Basically, we worked it out. It works out for about every dollar, it helps like 3 people, right? I mean, that's kind of how it works out, the ratio. I think that's pretty good efficiency. Because our administrative costs are very, very low. We just keep it to a minimum. So, yeah. Anything you want to add before we wrap up?
No, I think you're good. Keep your eye open up for new events, new broadcasts, and all the things that you can get involved with as we grow.
Yeah, and when we are finally ready to open to the public, we'll have a big event. I mean, we'll do a big shindig of.
A homecoming with a couple dragons outside.
Yeah, we have a couple of those blow up dragons. Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah. Oh boy, so much potential. We just gotta keep putting one foot in front of the other. We'll get there. All right. Well, thank you, and again, please donate. rpgresearch.com/donate. Wherever you may be well and happy gaming. Namadia.
Dream well. Does my hat disappear?
No, it's not that shade of green. I'd have to really
Really, Tony.
make it. Yeah.